You are listening to Phone Eats First. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Phone Eats First, a podcast about romanticizing your life and finding inspiration inside and outside of the kitchen. My name is Corey May, Corey in the Kitchen, and I'm so happy you're here and listening to today's episode, whether this is your first episode or you've been along from the beginning and you're on number 23. 22. This is episode 22. But yeah, hi, I'm so happy you're here and welcome. Today's episode is all about wellness, what it means to me and how we can sort through all the misinformation and amounts of information that we have access to today. We're revolving around wellness and most importantly, just kind of what it looks like in my life. Not too in depth about how to become well or how to implement a more of a wellness focused lifestyle. That's going to be next week's episode, but for right now, we're just starting kind of with Wellness 101, like what it really means and what it means to me. But first, let's get into the weekly report. So reading. I am kind of in between two books right now because I'm on page 3 of By a Thread by Lucy Score. But Maya just gave me A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah Maas, and if you know, you know. That book is very popular right now. It's like a fantasy one, so I have a very strong feeling I'm going to just ditch By a Thread and skip to A Court of Thorns and Roses because I need to know what all of the hype is about. Eating. I am in fridge cleanout mode, aka eating everything and also nothing because I don't have any snacks available or that many. I just have ingredients in the fridge and not even exciting ingredients. It's a little bit of yogurt, a little bit of chicken broth, some noodles, and I'm on the very, very end of any of my milk that I've had, whether it's real milk, almond milk, oat milk. I've been going through them. It's okay. We're surviving. I'm still eating good. I'm not making these intricate dinners or anything. Tonight I literally had just salmon and rice, no vegetables, which for me is very, very off-brand. So that's how we're looking right now, but that's okay. Plan. I am going to Dallas, Texas this week for work, so hence the fridge cleanout mode. But more importantly, I'm reunited with Callie. I haven't seen her since before I went skiing, just because my parents watched her, and then it was just too much to go get her with work, and then the wedding, and here we are. But I'm reunited with Callie, and that leads me very strongly into my obsession this week is Callie snoring. Because while I was prepping this episode, she was just all cute on the couch and just snoring away. That girl just lives the best life. Okay, our recipe tonight, I had salmon without soyaki. Can you believe it? I just had classic olive oil, salt, pepper, and then the Trader Joe's lime chili seasoning, and it was honestly so good. It had almost crispy layer on top just because I had loaded up the seasoning, obviously. But I kind of just made it without really thinking. I meant to put soyaki on it. I meant to do garlic. I meant to do all the things. But it was nice and simple. And it was kind of a refresher that not everything needs to be crazy. Okay, and tea treat. This is a very much different kind of treat, but nonetheless, it's still a treat. So tomorrow I'm buying my lunch out. And I'm already excited about it because I know I'm going to go to the same place. I only go to one place when I buy my lunch at work, which if you didn't know, I work in Hillsborough, North Carolina. There's not many options, to say the least. So I'm going to this place called Steve's. It's a little market. And I'm going to get my favorite sandwich there. They have a little sandwich deli counter. And the sandwiches are so good. Without fail, they're so good. And it's just a little treat to myself because I always bring leftovers and I don't have any. Like I said, I'm literally in clean out fridge mode. So that's my treat tomorrow. I can't wait. I'll take a pic so you can see my sandwich and maybe understand the hype or even just have a glimmer of how good it is. But so that's my weekly report. Now let's get into today's episode. Like I said in the beginning, today is all about wellness and really just wellness 101, what it means to me and how we can sort through all of the wellness facts and information and misinformation in the world revolving around wellness, and just kind of how we can even begin to approach it. So I'm going to preface, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional. I don't know shit about anything. I really don't, but I like to think that I have a good understanding of my own wellness, and so that is the whole approach this episode is coming from. You can totally disregard everything I'm saying, or if any of things sounds like it applies to you or could make your life a little bit better, fantastic. Then let's just go with that. But so first, what is wellness? We're going to start with a very, very formal definition. But first, I think it's important to differentiate health from wellness because honestly, when I was prepping this episode and looking at the actual definitions, I saw that there were quite a few just like Google searches that popped up while I was searching the definition, explaining the difference of health and wellness. And obviously, they're different things, they're different words, but I'd never truly thought about what health is versus what wellness is. Here's the Merriam-Webster version, but health is a state of complete physical, mental, social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. To be honest, I don't even know what infirmity is. We're just going to go with health is a state of complete mental, physical, and social well-being. Whereas wellness is an active process through which people become aware of and make choices towards a more successful existence. And truthfully, I love that definition. I think it's my favorite one that I saw. But the key here is health is a state, whereas wellness is a process. So I guess you could even almost say wellness is the process that you take to become healthy. But that's not even really how we're looking at it. We're just going to focus on the process because we all know wellness is an ongoing process. Your life is an ongoing process. Every day adds to this process of just becoming, insert definition of wellness, because that's the whole point of the episode. Everyone has a different definition of wellness. Wellness looks different to everyone. It means something different to everyone. But so whatever your version of wellness is, whatever you're trying to achieve, it is an active process and it will always be active. But some more formal definitions of wellness. Pfizer says wellness is the act of practicing healthy habits on a daily basis to attain better physical and mental health outcomes so that instead of just surviving, you're thriving. And no, I did not add that last part. Pfizer says thriving instead of surviving, which I love that. Again, here you have wellness is the act of practicing. So again, you're like practice makes perfect, but there's no such thing as perfect. So you're always practicing. So it kind of touches on that active process, practicing. You're always working towards a better outcome. Again, keywords here, practicing and thriving, not just surviving. Merriam-Webster says the quality or state of being in good health, especially as an actively sought goal. So this one touches on, I think, to me, active deals with the physical wellness, which is definitely probably what everyone thinks of. But again, it even says the state of being in good health. So it's like I said in the beginning, wellness is the ongoing, always active process to reach this state of health, which AKA you're never actually going to reach this state of health because it's an always moving forward goal. Which, yes, you might have some pillars and milestones in your health journey, but you're never just going to be one day sitting there, oh, cool, I'm healthy, I'm good, I've reached it, I am in the state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. No, you're never going to do that. I mean, if you do, good for you. Let me know how you get there. Let everyone know how you get there. But in the meantime, we are focused on wellness. So I did ask my Corey in the Kitchen fan club what wellness means to y'all. Because like the whole point of this episode, wellness means something different to everyone. So I thought I really loved the answers that I got and I want to share them. So the first one, peace. If something in my life is out of whack, then I don't have full peace. For example, eating bad, not exercising, not connecting with my husband. It doesn't mean I'm lethargic. It just means for me, I can tweak a few things to get back in alignment, center myself, and find my peace again. Which I really loved this because this is similar to my definition, but the word peace never came to me, but I kind of wish it had. Everyone's on a different journey. Everyone has a different meaning. I'm going to repeat myself a million times in this episode. Another submission, the way you feel. Nice and simple. And another one, balance. And another one right after that, balance and very individual. What works for you won't work for someone else. And if that is not the motto of this episode, then I don't know what is. But you see, balance has been mentioned twice already, and everything is just about how you feel. And I feel like reaching this inner peace and balance and feeling whole almost. And then here's my favorite submission. And we're going to reference this one a few times because it transitions perfectly to the next topic of this episode. And this submission says, I have no fucking idea what wellness is. I feel like most things sold as wellness are just labeled that because it's trendy right now. I like to think wellness means just healthy, so balancing my life. We're going to unpack that one. So once again, mentioning balance, because balance clearly is key. Because there are all of these tenets to wellness, and so it's finding balance across all of them and what the perfect balance is for you to have this process continue to flow in your body, in your mind, in your emotions, in all these things that make you well. I really feel like I'm talking in circles here. And if you're listening to this and I have been talking in circles, I deeply apologize. But when I was outlining this episode, it all made sense to me. So we're going to keep moving forward. If that's not actually the case, I apologize. We've gone to the formal definition. We've gone through y'all's definitions. And now here we are, my definition. And again, I am not a professional. I am not a doctor. I don't know shit. I am not the epitome of health. I am not the epitome of wellness. But here's what wellness means to me. And if I had to define wellness, this is my definition. Feeling good in your own skin and continuously taking steps to balance your body, mind, and soul. Let me repeat that. Feeling good in your own skin and continuously taking steps to balance your body, mind, and soul. And within this whole wellness, I think there are 4 areas of wellness. There's probably more. There could be less. You can think there's 20 areas of wellness, but these are my 4 areas of wellness that right this very second came to mind that I think are very important and almost like the stepping stones to wellness and all that jazz. So first, we've got physical, and I think this is the most obvious one, but I would define physical wellness as how your body is functioning. And within this category, like just general sickness. If you're sick, I feel like that is such a physical thing. Like it means like a bacteria or an infection or something of the sorts, or like germs physically got into your body somehow and are physically working to destroy your body and weaken your immune system. I think that's all part of this. And then we also have physique. So with this, think muscles, body fat, exercise, strength, anytime you're moving your body and whatever your goal is there, whether it's to build muscle, maybe to become faster, to increase your cardio. I am going to put all this under the physique category, but I do think that is a huge part of physical wellness. And then also we have fuel, which is kind of how I'm defining food, nutrition, hydration, how you're digesting, what your body is craving. Because again, I'm just thinking of this as an external factor that you are physically putting in your body, and your body is physically working to digest and move the nutrition throughout your body wherever it needs to go. And then lastly, we have sexual wellness, I think falls into this physical category because again, I guess it is literally physical. So yeah, I'm not really going to touch on this one too much because I just want to have a professional talk about this one day on this podcast, obviously. So until then, we're just going to move on. But I think you guys all know what I mean when I say sexual wellness. And if you don't, let me know. I mean, I can tell you what I think about it. But like I said, I think there's so much to unpack there. So we're going to put a pin in that. Okay, but number 2 area of wellness, we've got mental and emotional. I at first had these as 2 separate things, but then as I was defining them to myself, I think they are just so intertwined. I'm putting them as one, and it literally doesn't matter. I'm just telling you my thought process at this moment. But so mental and emotional wellness to me deal with your stress levels and your happiness chemicals. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what I'm talking about. But from just my life experiences and research on Google and Pinterest and wherever I get my information, Instagram, like I get information everywhere, which again, we're going to get into that. But the mental part and the happiness chemicals I was referring to, we've got dopamine, endorphins, oxytocin, and serotonin. And these are referred to as happy chemicals, which not necessarily happy all the time, but just they deal with your mental well being. So, dopamine was simply defined as pleasure and reward, endorphins, pain and stress, oxytocin, love, serotonin, good moods. And I'm going to get into these a lot more in the next episode, but all of these things happening in the brain are literally sicknesses and chemical imbalances, and there's so much to learn there. So I think that's such a huge piece. But then we also have emotional wellness. And to me, emotional is a lot more external. So it's stress and how you control and handle and adapt to your environment and all of these factors and challenges that you face, whether they're good or bad, positive or negative. However you react and are able to react, which again deals with your mental, your physical. Again, everything's connected, everything's intertwined. But I do think emotional stress is a huge thing. And if you were to think about like the last time you had a really, really good cry, about how you are physically exhausted after, but also at the same time, you're relaxed, you feel release. It's like you've had this like pent up wall built in you. I'm not saying this happens to me often. Trust me, it doesn't. I'm not a big crier, but I know everyone here knows what I'm talking about. And just the fact that our bodies are able to have such a strong reaction to things happening outside of our body, I think is so cool and crazy. And again, so much to process there. But so the number 3 area of wellness, which this one may or may not come as a surprise to you, but I'm saying financial. And I think financial wellness deserves to be its own pillar because at the end of the day, the reason we do anything in our lives, job or work or externally motivated thing is to make money to then live our life. We don't live our life and just have money. Like I wish that's how it was, but it's not. So I know finances play a huge role in every single person's life on this planet. Unless you're just blessed and have money growing in your backyard. Some people do. They really do. But most of us are not like that. And so I do think it's really important to acknowledge that money plays a huge role in nutrition and gym memberships, fitness, overall financial freedom, which then deals with stress and mental and emotional wellness, your physical wellness, because of just how you're able to provide a healthy and clean environment for yourself and for others. And just overall, when you think of improving your life and your wellness, like, oh yeah, great. I want to look good, feel good, not have depression and anxiety. I want to be rich and I want to just have peace. I've always thought of money as like something you can really focus on. And in wellness, and just in life, I think I go through phases of like, oh, let me focus on this for a little bit. Let me focus on this for a little bit. And like you put a lot of attention to certain things. And I'm always like, I mean, you could be someone that puts so much attention to your finances and money and your job, your investing, your assets, your career. But I mean, I'm not one of those people. I still need to budget. I still haven't budgeted. But just like bigger picture here, I don't know if you guys are following what I'm saying. I hope you are, but we spend years of our life committing to a job literally just to get a paycheck. And what do you do with that paycheck? What do you do with that career? What do you do when it's all done? I think so much attention needs to be put into financial wellness because at the end of the day, it impacts everything else and everything else impacts your finances. Okay, enough there. We're moving on. Number 4, the last area of wellness is spiritual wellness. And to me, this is believing in something bigger than yourself and just overall the purpose of life and that we are here for a reason or whatever you think. But just in all of the spiritual can fall religion, manifestation, prayer, whatever you want to call it. But just knowing that there is something bigger and better and brighter at all times. Almost just your outlook on life could also be a simpler, less dramatic way to say all of this, but I think it's very important. So, those are my 4 areas of wellness. And like I mentioned earlier, next week's episode is just going to be how I optimize my wellness and kind of what these 4 areas and more look like and how I handle it all, work on it all. But right now, I want to really touch on wellness in the real world. And in the real world, I guess it's ironic because I'm going to talk about social media, aka wellness in the fake world, the portrayed world that we're all so immersed in. But, and this is like a topic that keeps coming to mind as I'm planning episodes and thinking of content I want to talk about because there is so much information in the world. And I am always thinking about how can I possibly consume as much information as possible, but also like be a normal functioning human. It's not possible to learn everything that there is to learn. It's not possible to read every book there is. It's not possible to see every movie that there is. It's not possible to listen to every podcast episode or every new song or every new artist. Like it blows my mind and I can't comprehend it. I can't process it. I try to avoid it. It's like thinking about outer space. Like I just like can't do it. Otherwise I just go crazy and just like go into this like black hole. The world is so big. There's so many people on this planet. There's so many things going on. And I'm really going on a tangent here. But just my point is we are so fortunate to have access to so much information, but it's too much. And the power of social media is a crazy thing because you can learn so much from the internet all the time, but you can also be completely learning misinformation, or you could just be not learning anything. You can just be following people to follow them that aren't sharing information, and that is okay. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that at all. But what I am talking about is when you go on TikTok or Instagram or X, Twitter, whatever it's called, YouTube, whatever social media form you go on. But what I want to touch on here, and I referenced this as a submission to what wellness meant, and it's really important to reshare and retouch on now because someone said, I have no fucking idea what wellness is. I feel like most things sold as wellness are just labeled that because it's trendy right now. And this is kind of what I'm touching on right now is how on the internet, every time, like literally every day, I open my phone, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, I learn something new and it's telling me that something is right or something is wrong, or I have been doing something wrong for the last 25 years of my life. Or if I do this one tiny little thing, like put rosemary oil in my hair, I'm going to grow a horse mane. Like it's just these little pieces of information. And it's like, how do I know what the hell to listen to try, to believe? Like it's crazy. And I don't have the answers at all. Like I'm not here to tell you how to handle this information. I'm here to just acknowledge the world that we live in and how hard it is to process everything that we are seeing and hearing and reading. So I thought it would be fun to kind of just share a long list of things that came to mind of it could be true information, it could be false information. And this is just things that came to mind to me today. And I'm looking at a list of probably like 20 plus things. So we're just going to go through it. And again, in case you like zoned out and are zoning back in, these aren't facts I'm about to read you. The whole point of this is like anytime I've just logged onto the internet, this is information I have heard that's all contradictory. Like you can assume if you hear one thing here, I've heard the opposite, and you will know what I'm talking about as soon as you start listening. We've got red meat is bad for you. Red meat is great for you. Eggs are bad for you. Eggs are good for you. Don't eat the egg yolks. The yolk of the egg is actually the powerhouse and has all the nutrients. You don't actually need the egg white because the egg white has something blocking the nutrients of other foods. Eating red meat every day will give you high cholesterol and blood pressure. If you have acne on your chin, stop eating dairy. If you have acne on your neck and under the ears and also on your chin, stop eating eggs. If you're bloated, drink these greens every morning. Gluten is bad for you. Dairy is bad for you. Carbs make you fat. Carbs are necessary for energy, but don't eat too much because it turns to sugar. Eat all the fruits and veggies, but no fruit after lunch because it turns to sugar. Drink so much water, but it does nothing for you unless it has electrolytes or minerals. Alcohol is poison, but a glass of red wine a day keeps the doctor away. Don't use seed oils. Olive oil is the best oil, but olive oil can be inflammatory sometimes. Coffee is covered in mold. The gut microbiome is the key to balanced life and digestive system. Birth control is bad, but it's also the only way to heal acne and balance hormones. You must eat food before you drink coffee. Butter is bad for you. Grass-fed beef is the key. Ghee and tallow are the best for cooking. Lifting weights is the best way to tone your body, but so is Pilates and form and walking. Running burns the most calories. If you want to lose weight, you have to burn calories. Calories in versus calories out. Floss and scrape your tongue every day for the best oral hygiene. 30 grams of protein within the first 30 minutes of waking up. Eggs give you acne. Protein and fats are the best for weight loss. Okay, that is my list. Again, if you weren't really listening and now you're tuned back in, these are just bits of information that I've heard that came to mind that I've learned on the internet. And are they true? Are they false? We have no idea. Well, some people do, but as a general public, we don't know. And so again, I'm not here to provide answers. I am here to just tell you my thoughts and how I personally work to handle this influx of information at all times that's always contradicting and always telling me something new, whether it's in regard to mental, emotional, physical, financial, spiritual wellness. Mainly, this is all physical, at least as I define with like food and fitness. But I think the best way to handle this is I'm talking to you that you're listening to this podcast right now. Hello, hi. You need to create a space where you are receiving positive and informative content. Well, it doesn't have to be informative, but it needs to be positive. We're going to start there. What you are allowing yourself to consume, it's your fault. I understand TikTok has like a For You page and social media has algorithms that promote things and put things on your feed, but also the algorithm knows what you like and what you want and what you have previously been looking at to then give you more content. So if you meticulously create a space that has content that you like and deem as informative and positive and correct and educational to your needs, then you'll be amazed at what is promoted to you. For example, my Corey in the Kitchen Instagram page is truly a peaceful place for me. Like, I have fallen in love with Instagram again because it is only people I want to follow and only content I want to see. I still have my Corey Wilson Instagram. TikTok is a free for all. But I do not follow any friends, family, celebrities. Well, I take that back. I follow influencers and stuff, but they're all fitness, health, wellness influencers. And then I also follow health and wellness brands, whether it's food brands that I really like, a protein brand that I really like, a gym, or like a workout situation. I also follow other food creators so that my whole Instagram, anytime I get on there, is just full of nutritious, healthy recipes, inspiring workout, fitness, movement content, not just like, oh, here's my super hard workout I just did that you'll never do, and here's my 12 pack that you'll never have. I don't want that, so I don't follow that. I don't allow that. I'm protecting my space. I'm creating a positive, peaceful place for me to go and learn and educate myself. And I'm not saying everyone I follow, I trust and take everything that they say as fact. That is not at all what I'm saying. That is the point of this episode. I'm just saying that's the first step. You just create the space that is positive and in the right direction of information you want to be seeing. Then, do you trust these people? I hope you do to some extent. Otherwise, I hope you're just following them for like pure entertainment or just to get a kick out of whatever they're saying. But overall, I think you should follow people that you trust, because if you're following a bunch of people you don't trust, it doesn't matter if someone is telling you about what they did today or like literally their 5-year-old's birthday party. There is going to be something they say that is informative, and whether that information is true or not, your brain is going to process it. And at some point you're going to be like, wait, I heard this once upon a time. Is that true? Is red meat bad for you? Should I be going to the gym for 90 minutes every single day? Like, insert whatever fact you've just heard. And does it make sense for your life? Does it apply to your life? Does it have anything to do with you? If you're mindlessly just consuming this information, you're going to mindlessly consume these facts and at some point accept them as truth. And that's okay. It can be true. It could be false. We don't actually know. No one knows what's going on. No one knows anything. But you need to be skeptical of everything you're hearing and ask questions and do your own research. And when I say research, I mean online and personally. First of all, if something sounds good and right and interesting and you want to know more about it, Google it. Use the internet. Again, like I'm saying right now, we have so much information in our hands. So just do a little bit more research and see if this person's even on track. And then second, try it for yourself. Every single person is different and reacts differently to everything. And no one truly knows what quote unquote saved their insert blank, whether it saved their skin, saved their hair, saved their gut, made them lose 100 pounds, got them a 6-pack, whatever it is that they're saying that they have achieved. No one can really pinpoint the one thing that saved their life, because it wasn't just one thing. It's a combination of so many factors, internal, external. It's all about your wellness. Is their mental health good? Is their emotional health good? Is their financial health good? Is their spiritual health good? Do they have good relationships, healthy relationships? Are they eating foods that they're allergic to? Are they getting rid of the bacteria in the home? Whatever it is, there's so many things that are going to affect a person's well-being, appearance, emotions. And so when someone says that they stopped eating eggs and dairy and red meat and all of their acne went away, good for them. That's not going to work for you. It might work for you. Just try it. Do research. Test things out. That is the whole point of this. You need to know that what works for one person may not work for you. So overall, just try these things that you hear, test them out, and listen to your body. I am a hypocrite, and I was following the wave that red meat. I mean, yes, red meat is bad for the environment to some extent. And yes, I am the reason some animals are dying and getting killed and slaughtered, yada, yada, yada. If you're vegetarian, sorry, you didn't need to hear that. But anyway, I was following this wave for whatever reason. I didn't even really have a reason. I just thought that eating red meat was like bad for your cholesterol and blood sugar. I don't even know what I thought. But then I realized red meat has so many vitamins and minerals and nutrition that I wasn't getting elsewhere. And so I was like, let me just like try and eat red meat again. I thought it was hurting my stomach. It wasn't fucking hurting my stomach. I don't know like why I thought that. I think it was eating the cheeseburger and a bunch of French fries and like a toasted buttery bun and all those like greasy carbs that were hurting my stomach, potentially. Or maybe it was the beer, potentially. We don't actually know. But a true good grilled steak. Are you kidding me? I've been missing out on steak for the last few years just because I thought, who knows what I thought, but I just thought red meat wasn't great. And I was also limiting dairy. I was like, guys, this almond milk wave, can we calm down, please? Like, I understand some people are actually lactose intolerant here. We're drinking nut water. And why? I mean, if you like how it tastes, do you like how it makes you feel? Good for you. I still drink almond milk and I will still drink almond milk, but I'm also now also drinking real milk. And I'm not even drinking raw milk. I want to start drinking raw milk, like this carnivore diet approach, but I'm getting closer to that than I was. And I was almost like not eating red meat completely less than a year ago. And I wouldn't be where I am right now with my diet and my food and my relationship with food if I didn't let myself hear information and process information and assess for myself. Is this true? Is this good for me? Does this apply to my life? Will this contribute to my wellness routine and practice and process? And there's probably so much more I could say about this. And I know this is a sensitive subject for everyone because we all have social media, we all process information. We all are on our own wellness journeys, and different things can have different triggers to different people. And also, you may think someone is incorrect in saying something and it can upset you. I think we all just need to be better listeners and judgers of information. And I think I'm just going to leave that there because, again, I don't know anything. But to summarize this cute little episode up, wellness is different for everyone. It has a different meaning for everyone. But overall, wellness is an ongoing process to reach a state of complete health. And health is physical, mental, social well-being, according to a very formal definition. But also remember, Pfizer said we're thriving, not just surviving. So wellness is this process. It's all about the journey, not the destination. Overall, I think wellness is about having balance and peace, feeling good, wanting to take the next step to balance your body, mind, soul. To summarize all this up, wellness is an ongoing journey to reach a state of complete health, which you will never actually do. So wellness is something you are going to work on and encounter and have challenge you every single day for the rest of your life. Because every day there's going to be something that you can improve to reach this balance and peace and feel good in your own skin and balance your body, mind, soul, everything. And I saw these cute little quotes on Pinterest that I really they spoke to me and I want to share. So these are just in general. I was like, oh, wellness, cute little Pinterest quote, which I'm not a Pinterest girl, but I'm starting to become one. But so the first one I saw, the words you speak become the house you live in. So on top of all of our individual approaches to wellness, like our internal and external factors, it's also about your mindset. Like the words that you physically are speaking become the house you live in. Think about that. If you have a negative talk and a negative outlook and just are upset about your body image or your confidence or whatever it is, that's going to be your life. But if you have this approach to just tackle your life day by day and little by little improve and better whatever it is you're focusing on, that's going to be your life. Your life is going to be positive and better and constantly improving. Another one that's kind of similar, you are your home, take care of yourself. And this just goes along with the thought that everyone's heard before. You only have one body, so take care of it. Everyone does something bad for their bodies, but it's like, why do we do that? We literally only have one body. You can't change it. You can't replace it. You can try and do a lot of things to your body, but at the end of the day, just take care of yourself because you only have you. Another one that I've also heard a lot and also on other people's wellness podcasts is focus on wellness before you focus on illness, or you're like forced to focus on illness. And this is such a good reminder because I'm very fortunate that I have for some reason, lived a life where I want to be healthy and like to be healthy. And I know what it means to be healthy, but I know a lot of people don't know what that's like until it's too late or almost too late. And they are in repair mode, trying to heal themselves, get rid of an illness, get rid of a unhealthy relationship with food or exercise or whatever it is. And then you're trying to reverse back to wellness. Whereas if you are someone that is fortunate enough to not have to deal with illness, let's just continue to be well. And then last one, very simple, take care of your body, space, and mind, which is a great one to end on because that is what we're going to be talking about in next week's episode, just how I personally take care of my body, space, and mind, and how I want to continue to do that, improve how I do that. And also just, I want to hear how you guys do that. So yeah, Wellness 101, we can call this episode. But thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I feel like I rambled so much. Hopefully I didn't. If I did, whatever. It's literally the point of a podcast, right? Just sit down with a microphone and talk, and you guys are listening for some reason. But yeah, if you want to be featured on next week's episode, please, I'm going to post some questions to my Instagram throughout the week. Please contribute. Please text me. Also, you could do that. You could also just text me, but please answer on my Instagram. I'm going to ask how you guys, well, one, what wellness means to you if you want to add on to this episode, but also just what you do to take care of yourself and how you can optimize your wellness. Like, for example, when you aren't feeling balanced or at peace with your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial wellness, what do you do? Or what is something you are always trying to work towards? I really want to hear what you guys have to say, and I want to share it in next week's episode. So contact me, hit me up, follow me on Phone Eats First Pod on Instagram and Corey in the Kitchen on Instagram. That's CORI_ in the kitchen. And yeah, thanks for listening. I hope everyone has a fantastic week ahead, and we will talk soon. You are listening to Phone Eats First.